So the first part of the logic we're going to deal with is what happens if the foot is locked. So the only thing that happens if the foot is locked, because we don't need to update these transforms because they're just locked and they're staying the same in world space, all we need to do is check, should we unlock the feet? So in the event that the feet are locked, we want to check a condition to see whether or not we should unlock the feet. And what we're going to do for that is we're going to check how far through the cycle percent the foot is. So currently we're using the master cycle percent rather than a cycle percentage for each foot, but we can stick with that for now. So what we're going to do is create a new variable, and this is going to be a global variable, so not a local variable. And we're going to set this to the type of float, and we want it to be a single value, not an array. So we right click on this. And I'm going to rename this after compiling and saving just to avoid any crashes. I'll rename this to swing percent. So once we compile, we'll be able to edit the default value. So when swing percent is selected, you'll see swing percent as the default value. And for now, I'm just going to set this to 0.5. What this is representing is what percentage of the whole cycle, which goes from 0 to 1, what percentage of that cycle should be in the stage where the foot is swinging. And when it's swinging, that's the point where it's not locked. So that's while it's going from whatever position it was previously to the new spot. That is the swing phase. And then the rest is going to be in the locked phase where it just stays locked in world space. So the swing percent at the moment is 0.5. So for half of the cycle, it will be moving or swinging, and half of the cycle will be locked. So from the true execution path of this branch, what we're going to deal with is if the foot is locked, so true, we're going to decide whether or not we should unlock the foot. So we're going to create another branch up here, and we're going to connect the true branch to this. And just to make things a little bit cleaner and simpler, if you double click anywhere on these execution paths, it adds a reroute node. And what you can do is select this and move it around just to keep the execution paths clearer. So I'm going to move this branch out to the right. And just as a reminder, I'm going to select this reroute node and press C. And I'm going to type if locked. And this will just remind us that if it goes down this path, that is because the foot is locked. So here we want to decide what we should do. Should we unlock the foot? Because it's currently already locked. We know that because if it ever reaches this path, we know that the foot is locked. So in the event that it is locked, what condition is there that should make us decide we should unlock the foot? So what we want to do is see if the master cycle percent, which goes from 0 to 1, so drag that in and do get master cycle percent. If this is a value that is lower than the swing percent, so we'll drag out from value and search for the less than symbol, or you can type less, and you're looking for less, so you do the less node. So if this is less than whatever we input to be, which is going to be the swing percent, so we'll drag in the swing percent and do get swing percent, which is defaulted to 0.5, plug that into B. So if this value is less than this, that means that the master cycle percent is somewhere between 0 and 0.5. And if it's between 0 and 0.5, we want the foot to be in the swing phase, so we need to unlock it. So if that's the case, if we connect this result to the condition, so now the true branch, what we want to do is unlock this foot, because it means that it's currently locked because we've come down this path, but it's now in the first half of the cycle, which means we want to unlock the foot. So what we're going to do is get our foot locked array variable and drag in a reference to that and do get foot locked array. And instead of doing at, what we're going to do is drag out and do set at, which sets a specific index to a specific value. So connect this to the true branch, and the index we're going to use, as before, is going to be the foot index, the local variable we created. So we drag that in, do get foot index, and connect that to the index. And because the foot is currently locked, and this is in the event that it should be unlocked, we can leave this element as false. So now, if the foot was ever locked and the swing percent resets or goes to between 0 and 0.5, it would then unlock the foot.